I'm really happy that NATO is also expanding the capability targets, which are necessary for these developments of European defense as well. Then second, we don't see any movements on the ceasefire. It's clear that Putin is still playing games, and there is no indication that they want peace. Of course, what we're doing on the European side is to increase the pressure by working on the next package of sanctions. We are hitting a point where the sanctions are really hitting the supply chain, so we will see probably a bigger impact on this in order to pressure also Russia into wanting peace. And then, of course, we have seen over the last weekend these drone attacks of Ukraine that are rewriting the military history. I mean, they used thousands, drones costing thousands to take out planes costing millions. So I think this is clearly bringing the cost up also for the Russians, again, so that Russians would also want peace.
When will it be possible to see this next packages? Because it was announced several weeks ago. If Putin did not accept ceasefire, he did not do it. And
yes. Well, it was clear that in Europe, things take time. So we just finished with the 17th package of sanctions, and immediately after that said we are working on the 18th package. So we are doing as fast as we can, and I think it's very important to also send a strong signal that to put the pressure on Russia. So I can't give you exact deadline, but we are definitely aiming for having it as soon as possible.
Is it possible before summit of NATO?
Well, we are working on that, but I can't give any promises.
I have a couple of questions. Are you encouraged by the uptake or discouraged by the uptake of the EU member states of NATO in using the financing that the European Union has made available to get to their 5% or pay for their capability targets, whatever that turns out to be? And a separate question on messaging. As the negotiations for the summit communique are underway, we hear that they're having trouble coming up with even a single sentence that would name Russia as the aggressor or Russia as the threat to NATO. I mean, what does that say? Is that a big disconnect with, what most European NATO allies think?
Well, first on your first question. The funds that we made available, the member states are interested in using them and really to boosting their defense. We see decisions coming from Spain, for example, that they come to 2% already this year. We see also Luxembourg taking up next steps and important announcements coming from different countries. I think it shows that all the member states understand that we need to really move and boost the defense of Europe. When it comes to NATO negotiations, then I'm not part of the negotiations anymore. But definitely, I was just in Asia, and I must say that they have understood and we're talking about, Russian aggression, the defense of international law. If you don't defend the international law, then you actually make aggression legitimate. So this cannot just work. And the Asian countries understand that. So I hope that we have the similar approach also in NATO.
What do you think about this idea to include support of Ukraine in this 3.5% or 1.5% of increasing spending?
Well, of course, the numbers is one thing. Capabilities are another thing, and I think Ukrainian defense is also our defense. So we have taken that always so that the member states could also help Ukraine more. Now, what comes to the calculation, what is in the 5% or not in the 5%, then it is, of course, up to NATO to decide. But I think it's important that we don't blur the picture, that it goes to the defense and not the other projects that are not related to it.
Are you concerned by reports that Putin says he will retaliate against operations by the way?
Well, it's clear that they have had the drone attacks and attacks on civilians all the time. So they haven't changed their behavior before, and it's clear that they are going to want to impose bigger costs on Ukraine, which is always attacking civilians. Let me remind you that it's against the international humanitarian law to attack civilians or civilian infrastructure, and Russia is doing that all the time. Our response shouldn't be to, take a step back, but our response should be put more pressure on Russia, really, so that they would also want peace. Good. Thank you. All the best.